Hi, you guys. Welcome to our page, the RKJ family. So, I brought you this video today because I want to kind of explain how I got pregnant. So, I've kind of researched it ever since I was like 17. I've always wanted a kid, And I kind of thought, let me do a little bit more research. Let me get a little bit more older, a little bit more wiser in my, that department, So I started off where I ended up going to Target. I ended up getting these like soft cups out of Target. You can get them from Walmart or wherever. You can even search them up. You can even order them online, And a friend or whatever that I had, she basically kind of did it for me, because you have to insert it and stuff. I kept it in for about like maybe. So I kept it in for about like 3 days maybe, because I wanted to make sure that it kind of, did it processed and, it took, it didn't have no mistakes or anything like that, as I went to go take it out, not realizing that it worked. So I would say, when I first got my feeling, I was at work, this is when I was working. I'm at work doing my job or whatever, and all of a sudden I started feeling funny. Like my stomach started feeling funny, real funny. I'm like, nah, something not right. Let me go home. I ended up, leaving my job early. I get home, I'm sitting there, I'm contemplating, I'm thinking to myself like, what's going on with my stomach? Why is my stomach feeling like this? Like, what's really going on? Next thing you know, a friend comes over. So a friend comes over and she's like, did you take a pregnancy test yet? And I'm like, no, I gotta wait type, I'm not really sure if it worked, I'm gonna kind of wait it out a little bit, a couple more days or whatever, She's like, no, let's go to Family Dollar up the street. I'm gonna get you a pregnancy test so you can go in and take the test. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, okay, so we go up there, whatever. Next thing you know, she's like, we're gonna go to McDonald's. She's going to take it because it was a surprise from my mom. So we're gonna go to McDonald's so you can take the test or whatever. You can see what happens. I'm like, all right, nervous as ever. Didn't know what the hell to think. Didn't know how to feel. But I'm anxious. I'm nervous at the same time. So I'm like, all right, cool. We get to McDonald's or whatever like that. And I go ask them for a little small cup or whatever. I go in the bathroom. I do that. I wait it out. As soon as I seen the little line says negative. So I'm like, okay, I'm not. So she looks over my shoulder. She's like, do you want me to see? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. So she look over my shoulder. So she looked. And she like, you don't see that little faded line? I'm like, nah. So I happen to lean a little closer like, okay, maybe, possible, whatever. I get all excited. I come out the bathroom. I'm excited. I'm just like, okay, cool, whatever. Next thing you know, I get back to the house. My mama in there. My mama's outside. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go ahead, surprise my mama. We pull up. My mama standing outside. I'm like, mommy, guess what? She like, what? I'm like, I'm pregnant. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, pregnant. Boom. So all of a sudden, at that point, my mama was excited. My mama's boyfriend was excited. I'm like, okay, this is a big surpriser. You've been trying all this time. You finally hit the binger. So, okay, cool. Next thing you know, a couple days pass by. I'm really excited. I'm taking my time. I'm, pacing myself for what's going to come next. So as days progress, my stomach starts to show. I'm going to enter the clips in. My stomach starts to show. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm starting to take little pictures, little videos here and there of seeing the progress of it. I was really amazed as how far and how long my stomach was taking place, and my stomach started really fast into growing, that it surprised me. Me not really knowing who's in my belly right now, me being a first time mom, it was just like, okay, cool. Next thing you know, I go to my doctor's appointments. I'm going all the time. I'm keeping up with that. They gave me my first ultrasound. So I'm like, cool. I tell you that I went to get my first ultrasound, and they showed me that his gender and everything like that. I'm like, oh my God, it's a boy. I was a little upset because in the beginning I thought I was having a girl. So I'm like, okay, I gotta adjust. Me being a tomboy back in them days and stuff like that, I can understand why. I can see why God blessed me with a little boy. I'm really thankful for that. Now, looking back at that point and seeing him, and he's 1 year old now, I'm really amazed. I'm really happy. I'm really glad at how my life progressed. I wouldn't, and I'm not gonna take it back at all. Now, it's gonna be a part two. But now the part two is gonna be how me and my wife have raised him.